On this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock,
the U.S. versus Google monopoly verdict is in. And Community Chest says, go directly to jail.
Google Ads' latest scandal was the product of shady behavior.
Celebrity AI chatbots are so last year, but you'll want to hear about Meta's new celebrity voices.
All on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Friday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Christine Zernheld.
AKA Shop.
I'm Julia Matier.
And I'm Greg Finn.
And it's officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on August 9th, 2024. And before we get into this week's show, we want to thank Wix and the SEO Learning Hub for sponsoring this week's show. The SEO Learning Hub is your source for in-depth guides, original articles, tutorials, webinars, and podcast episodes from industry leaders. And you know these are really the industry experts if they're like coming from Wix. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of a joke because I wrote one article, but everyone else, industry experts.
You're an industry expert, Shep. Get out of here. You're like going to the UK to talk about lead gen.
If you say so. So this is something that you should absolutely have bookmarked, the Learning Hub, and check weekly, even daily, to stay up to date on the latest news. They cover everything from the basics. So here's an article from Morty Overstein about what is the Google algorithm. Or they have another article here from Morty that's more advanced about the rise of sensational content, lessons from Google's March core update. So really something for everyone on their SEO journey, whether you're an expert or a beginner. And also for daily news updates you have to catch. It's new. Ever heard of it?
I have.
Greg's wearing the hat today because he's one of the co-hosts. So they have new episodes of It's New every day, Monday through Thursday, with Crystal, Morty, Barry Schwartz, and our very own Greg Finn covering the news of the day. So it's definitely something that you want to follow along with if you want to hear the news before waiting for our Friday show. So to check out It's New and everything else on the SEO Learning Hub, you're going to want to bookmark wix.com/SEO/learn. That is wix.com/SEO/learn. Thank you, Wix.
All right. And first up today, just so you know, I think we are officially here as influencers.
Yeah.
Last week, we were complaining about the Olympic ads where the dad was like, hey, daughter, you want to go write a letter to your track star athlete that is your most favorite? Go use Gemini. And we were saying how terrible this was.
The worst use case phrase AI I've ever heard.
Well, 12 hours after our episode posted, according to PPC Greg, Google has pulled the ad completely.
And I knew this was news before it was even announced because I've been watching the Olympics day in, day out, every day. I've been living and breathing the Olympics. This commercial was on every commercial break. And all of a sudden it's gone.
You're just
not bothering me anymore.
Grinding, watching tape.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Putting in hard work.
Instead, they have like athletes that are working with Google now. And I'm kind of like, Alona, can you have better taste? But
yeah, I mean, she could do better.
I know.
We actually have a little bit more about the Olympic ads as well coming up in the lightning round. But in major news this week, Google has been found by the Department of Justice of the United States of America that it was an effective monopolist or monopoly in two specific markets. Huge news.
I'm just picturing the Google doodle and one of the O's is a monocle.
Yeah, it's like that. And essentially, they said, do not pass go, do not collect $200 because they were defined as a monopoly in general search services and general search text advertising, which is kind of a weird way to put that. They had made differentiation between, they called it product ads and text ads. And it seemed like the text ads were what really were determined to be a monopoly here. And Google obviously has 90% of the market share. So Judge Mahata had said that the important thing here was it's not just all digital advertising, it's general search text advertising is the quote, which really impacts advertisers, I would say. And that Google does have outsized capture of the market for those sponsored text-based URLs that appear at the top of certain results pages and can be bought for all types of sales. So I think that counts as shopping, but the way that they said the text ads in there made me like, whoever was putting this together doesn't really like know. You know, you always
somebody should tell them we haven't had text ads in like 5 years.
Yeah, and you always see like those senators like trying to talk about like grill Zuckerberg about Meta and Facebook, and it's like Zuckerberg's like, you don't have to have an account. And they're like, whoa, you know. So it seemed like a little bit of that. A quote that I liked from the statement was, in exchange for revenue share, Google not only receives default placement at the key search access points, but its partners also agree not to preload any other general search engine on the device. These distribution deals have forced Google's rivals to find other ways to reach users. They're talking about Apple and also the Android example there. And then finally, they said plaintiffs easily demonstrated that Google possesses a dominant market share measured by query volume. Google enjoys an 89.2% of share for the market for general search services, which increases to 94.9% on mobile devices. So big deal there. There's also a ton just about ads in general that I think is worth checking out on your own. Jason _Kint on Twitter X has a bunch of these examples where you're talking about the use of pricing knobs, which we've talked about exclusively since some of those materials were made public from the trial. Also, the fact that Google can control the walk by maximizing long-term revenue, and that they could raise prices using those knobs without losing advertisers. Because they could have higher ceilings with pricing. There's a whole bunch of like really damning stuff, I would think, on the pricing side. And they essentially said the only people that could do this are a monopoly. And it does make sense. I wasn't sure how that would land. Because to me, it's like if you have the market share, you should be able to do whatever you want from the advertising side. So I didn't think they might be on the hook from the ad side. I could see them being on the hook for being the default, but they got two different monopolist, verdicts, I would say here, or that was the decision. So I think the bigger thing is long-term, there is no like remediation yet. It could take years, but
it's already been years.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'm like a little bit worried about that text ad classification in there, because now we're seeing more and more stuff, as you'll report on later, that isn't a text ad, right? There's business logos. We saw at GML that a lot of the AI overview ads had images in there as well, it seemed like, with that one pool scrubber. So yeah, I don't know, but it does only seem to be on the search side, not like YouTube or anything else. So not like Google ads as a whole, but mainly just the search stuff. And then I'm also thinking, like, is that why they're pushing towards PMAX,
Oh.
Because now you're like, it's display,
yeah.
It's YouTube, and like demand gen. Well, hey, they don't even have search,
Yikes.
But you wonder like how that plays into it.
Well, I'm sure we'll have updates.
Fascinating stuff. If you want more, there's 286 pages that you can read. And we are not going to recap that all here today.
Yeah, just light weekend reading. Next up here, more Google news. So you guys run Google shopping ads, right? I just wanted to ask how your Thursday and Friday were last week.
Terrible.
How productive they were and how it went for you.
Terrible. And there was an article over on Search Engine Land with a comment from me on there. It was Thursday the 1st. We had a whole new set of products that we had to go put out on promotion for a client, just like new monthly specials and deals. We couldn't get to product groups. We couldn't get to listing groups in PMAX campaigns. We couldn't see product data. We were running these campaigns and we had set it live like right before the outage went. I'm pretty confident everything's in there. We have to like sell. We couldn't see anything. For a while, all the report editors were down on the 1st, and then some of the reports came back, but none of the shopping stuff came back Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think some of them started to come back Sunday. I started to see more on Monday, and I believe most of them came back on Tuesday, but you couldn't see anything.
It was crazy.
And we're going to break out a campaign and try to like make sure that things are spending in these categories that made the most sense and like segment them. And we're sitting there just reloading. And what do we get?
Absolutely nothing.
So yeah, a lot of people saw this in their accounts. We were like asking each other, hey, where are the products? Do you see any on your end? Then you look at Twitter X. people are having problems on there. Then we heard from Ginny Marvin, ads liaison. This is from August 1st at 3:39 p.m. She said, we're actively looking into an issue with Google Ads. Report editor, dashboards, and saved reports in the Google Ads web interface are currently down. The products, product groups, and listing groups pages are down across the web interface. Then she updated us later that day and said that reports were back up, but products, product groups, and listing groups were still down across the web interface, still on August 1st. Then on August 2nd, she said, starting on July 30th, and she gives a time in military time down to the second, a small fraction of advertisers started serving ads for products from other Google Merchant Center accounts. So not your products.
Yes.
And you're paying ads. And we're able to see those products in their ads reporting. This serving issue was resolved on July 31st. We temporarily paused access to certain reports on August 1st. Why?
Crazy.
This is me now.
Yeah, no. Okay, keep going.
Products, product groups, listing group reports continue to be down across the web interface, API, and Google Ads Editor as we work to restore reporting accuracy for the impacted time period. So advertisers are showing ads for products that aren't theirs. And our first reaction, it seems like, let's not tell people. Let's just take down all products. So you can't see them. All reports, you can't see them in your account. You don't know the problem. You can't pause your ad. You don't know to pause your ads. This is the most insane thing.
This is ridiculous.
So bad. And of course, like, I really believe that Jenny was not part of this decision.
Oh no, she couldn't
She
be.
was just the person, like, they told her the next day and she's like, you did what?
And poor Jenny just announced she's doing like coffee talks.
Yeah.
like, the next
I'm
week.
excited for it. The lead gen one?
Did you watch them?
No.
Value-based bidding leads. Hey, it was what value does. Different leads are different value.
She's
Love
fighting the
Jenny.
good fight. Yeah.
Love Jenny.
So then she updated us Sunday, August 4th and said, for accounts that have been affected by this issue, all reporting services have been restored. Why? Because you don't want people to see if they were affected? Like, why would you? I hate that. For accounts that have been affected by this issue, we are still working to restore reporting services and report editor and products tab. Then finally on August 6th, she said all reporting services have been restored with the exception of some competitive metrics. This is one of the like worst, sloppiest things I've ever seen them do.
Again, we are devolving as a society. I feel like the most important thing when you make a mistake is to take accountability and take responsibility and not just be like, we're just going to shut off the lifeblood of shopping campaigns and not let you see where you're spending your money. But you will keep spending your money and you just will not be able to see this or do anything or do any work or make any changes because we just don't want to show that we made a mistake.
If they cared about people, they would have like sent everyone an email and been like, look at your reports. If you see products that aren't yours, you should pause your ads. We're working on it.
Exactly. I didn't get
Or
anything.
just like,
I didn't get, and it's like now I got to go to Twitter X to follow Ginny for any of these things. It's absolutely, it is in my opinion, the worst way to handle a mistake is to just try to. There's a car crash. You can put a sheet in front of it, but I heard the crash. I know I need to use the road, and I know there's something there.
yeah, just make Jenny deal with it. That's what they did.
And now for this week's
Cool Tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners. And is really, really cool.
This week's cool tool is from To The Web, and it is a search engine simulator tool. This tool shows you how the engines see a web page, and it simulates how Google reads a web page by displaying the content exactly how it would see it. We'll have the link in our newsletter and in Discord, so check it out.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
This week's Take of the Week comes from Google, and it's a little bit outside the box. It's really from Jason Kent at Jason_Kent on Twitter X. And he has a quote from the US versus Google antitrust lawsuit. And it's about Google's take rate. So in the documentation, it says Google does not dispute that it maintained a 20% take rate for over a decade, a take rate 33 to 300% above what its employees discussed was appropriate for the market. So that's their take rate. Google has the take and take
I see
rate
what you did there.
of the week.
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
First up in the paid universe this week, if you don't care about keyword prioritization for search, you need to fast forward about 2 minutes because this is a tough one. So update to a story from last week. That is an update from a story that's like a month ago. Google has been clarifying how keyword prioritization works for search campaigns. So part of this is this article that came out, and it is called Impact on Keyword Prioritization Logic Within Google Ads. So it goes from descending top priority to bottom priority. The top is exact match keywords that are identical to the search term. The second is phrase and broad match keywords that are identical to the search term. Then those two are circled together and there's a little box. You got to be watching. It says keywords in a campaign with the broad match setting enabled will be prioritized as if they are both exact and broad match. So that was the original story. So if you had the toggle on, supposedly, not just if you had broad match keywords in your account, but if you had the toggle in your settings, it's fairly new.
Then broad
match setting.
acts
Yes.
like
Then
the
they were treated as if they were both exact and broad, which is the most insane thing I've ever heard. And this is kind of important, so I'm just going to read part of this. It says the most relevant broad match keywords from the most relevant ad groups are considered, and they're using AI to consider that. And then the bottom is ad rank. So after all of those things. So then last week, Anthony Higman said that Google recently, he said, changed that setting with the broad match setting turned on and how those keywords were treated as broad and exact to all search campaigns and to phrase match keywords. This week, Jenny responded. I don't know why Anthony said that. He read the same article differently in my eyes. She said, let me take a step back.
That's a sign of a good article when you can read it.
I know, but that's every Google article. Let me take a step back and clarify some things in this thread. 1, ad rank has followed after the prioritization rules to match the identical keyword to the query for some time now. This is not new. 2, these prioritization rules have been in place ahead of ad rank because we know advertisers expect specific matching behavior when the keyword is identical to the query, regardless of the match type they use. So that's why it's using the AI rules, because people want the best match. They're looking out for advertisers, and apparently it was for advertiser feedback. Finally, she says, if one keyword in ad is determined to be the most relevant, it will be selected. And that's, again, based on AI, even if it has a lower ad rank or lower bid, she's using as an example, than others that could have matched the query, if ad rank alone were the determining factor. She also clarified that AI-based keyword prioritization determines relevance by looking at the meaning of all of the keywords in an ad group and the landing page to understand their relevance to the meaning of the search term. She said that AI-based keyword prioritization has never just applied to search campaigns using the broad match setting, so I guess we misread that before. It works for phrase and broad match keywords in search campaigns. And then Barry Schwartz took all of this and turned it into a Search Engine Roundtable article called Separate Ad Groups in Google Ads Can Remove AI Theming. So he's saying, if you made a SCAG, it would not use it couldn't look at other keywords in the ad group. But I don't think you should do that. Yeah.
They're just pushing everything to be broad match.
Yeah.
Is what you look at this and think.
I don't support single keyword ad groups. I'm sorry, Barry. I think that you should group them as it makes sense. Next up, Meta. This is another confusing one. This is from Andrew Hutchinson at Social Media Today. The article is called Meta Removes Detailed Targeting Exclusions from Ad Campaigns. This may sound familiar because they announced it back in January. Then they set out an alert to advertisers saying that the targeting exclusions would be removed entirely on June 28th. Then they said, oh, that was an accident. There's no plans to remove them. And now they're gone. So I guess they just lied to us. I don't know what to say. Thomas Assell posted on LinkedIn in one of his accounts, he is seeing a notification badge that says your account will be suspended in 43 days if you don't switch to the monthly invoicing option. So that was the first time he saw it actually displayed in his account. Also, YouTube is testing in-picture ads for live streams. So instead of having a mid-roll ad during a live stream that would cut into the stream, streamers can now have an image just like on the screen during the live stream. It's less disruptive, or Greg might call it a rat ad. I don't really know.
I was going to jump in. Yeah.
Google also announced this week that they are transitioning smart campaigns to Performance Max. They're still running smart campaigns out there? I thought they already did this.
Every now and then you would still come across one where you're like, oh, I just started Google. And you're like, oh, it's a smart campaign.
Yeah.
There's no keywords, there's no anything.
Well, the worst is when you're in the like smart version of the whole account and you can't figure out how to switch it to the advanced version.
Yeah. This is an improvement. This is like from smart campaign to like Taylor's version campaign.
Oh my God.
That's not an improvement?
It is an improvement, but I don't think if it's set up as a smart campaign, it's going to be like a good PMAX campaign. If they're just
but
auto,
I think it would be better.
I hope.
I don't know.
I really don't know.
Is Taylor's version actually better?
It depends on the song.
Oh.
I like support her.
What are your thoughts, Julia?
I don't know. I feel like the obvious answer is that they're better, but
She's definitely a
I
better
mean,
singer, but
yeah.
sometimes when she's singing about like being in high school and like feeling sad for a breakup, you can just feel the emotion in the old
Yeah.
songs and you can't in the new one.
But Scooter Jenkins doesn't get the revenue?
Right. So we always,
Right.
we don't want to support Scooter Jenkins.
yeah.
That news came from Adrian Decker, and supposedly it's happening in the coming months, by the way. There is also another article on Search Engine Roundtable this week from Barry Vijay Chowan. Noticed a new kind of search ad format where it says sponsored and then it's labeled as featured options. They're just trying to trick people into clicking on ads.
You look at this and you see the brand logo, the brand name. It looks like there are some call outs in there. It looks like there's some other rich data like reviews and things like that. We just talked about the DOJ and the monopoly. Julia, is that a text ad?
Don't ask me questions.
I don't know. Is it a text ad?
I feel like they could tell the DOJ it's not, or they would tell
I
the
mean,
DOJ.
there's more
Yeah.
image than text.
Yeah. Also from Barry, Greg, I'm not reading this article. There is an update to the sexual content policy in Google Ads for mature cosmetic procedures,
does that
updating in
mean?
September 2024. And I am a classy lady, so I'm just not going to get into this news. I think Manscaped will be very happy about this news.
That was my first thought. It's like, oh my gosh, we'll get some different podcast advertisers out there. But Google Ads will allow pubic hair grooming service advertisements in September. But I didn't want to have you say any of those things. So I was
Okay.
going to write some alternate headlines for you.
Please don't.
Google realizes it dropped the ball
Greg.
on a certain category
No.
and adds it back. Okay, I'll do better. After fumbling the bag, Google
Done.
adds a new product category. No? Should I keep going or no?
I'm done with the show. It's my last episode.
Google is now thinking outside the box on how to increase revenue.
Stop. What's your next one?
Initially, you were not able to advertise in this category, but hold on as Google adds mature cosmetic procedures.
Please tell me you're done.
No, I can be done anytime. I could go forever too. We'll end it there.
Sometimes the news is just too much.
And heading into our organic section this week, I would like to give a big thank you to Wix Studio. Whatever product you sell, you should use Wix Studio, especially if you're an agency, a creative firm, or anything like that, because it is outside of the normal template options that exist. You can go and really customize things the way you want them to look. Make sure everything is super responsive. Use custom CSS if you need to. And one of my favorite new features with Wix Studio is that they are adding in responsive behaviors and advanced AI into Wix Studio. So a few things that you can do with the AI within Wix Studio is that you can make sure that the responsiveness that your website has going from desktop to mobile is exactly as you want, and it can fast forward that progress, getting that responsiveness from desktop to mobile. You can use the AI tool to help your code and have AI help you code and not have to do everything manually for some of those tricky situations where you don't want to use a template. but you need some certain customization, they'll have AI there helping you out. Also, you can now create images with AI right from the editor. So it's great. And probably my favorite thing is you can take your images you have now, they might not be the highest resolution. You can enhance those images in a click with Wix's AI built right into Wix Studio.
That is amazing.
A fantastic product. And if you want to see more about the AI capabilities, go to wix.com/studio/AI, but just check out Wix Studio, wix.com/studio, wix.com/studio. Thank you, Wix. All right, and our first story here in the organic section this week, Google Search Central has new Search Console recommendations, which is a feature that will provide websites and webmasters with optimization opportunities and will suggest actions they can take to improve their presence on Google Search. The minute that I hear recommendations, what do you think of, Julia? You hear Google recommendations.
Probably not good.
I'm the same way, but I actually think this could help, especially people that are really on that more novice level. And they're like, oh, this section of your site is not indexable. Go take off your no follow or something like that on that site. So, or no index. Who am I? So that's pretty cool. That's rolling out. Appreciate that. And I think it'll actually help a lot of people. There's also more news that might be a little bit unsavory, but again, I'm not going to say anything bad. But Google says they are going to be addressing explicit fake content in search. These are non-consensual, sexually explicit fake content. So if something goes out there and people have a deep fake, Google is going to be demoting this. Glenn Gabe on Twitter X said that this is going to be similar to some of that pirated copy that where it just kind of dropped and fell off the face of the earth. So hopefully Google would be having like safe search catch this stuff anyway. But if there is anything that is a deep fake, they're going to be taking that out of the index and just dropping it and demoting it, which is awesome. Nobody wants that. From Glenn Gabe, he says, Google is introducing new devices and AI models to enhance the smart home experience. Google Assistant gets a new voice as Gemini AI comes to Google Home. So I just feel like we heard for years and years about the voice assistant war, and now Gemini is coming with a new experience for Google Home. So you're gonna be able to create automations with AI that help me create feature. So I think that's helpful. I switched over. I hated Assistant, and I switched over to Alexa, and now Alexa, every single time I wake up, it just tells me stories. And I'm just like, Alexa, stop.
News stories?
Yes. I'm like, set the alarm. And it's like,
Too early.
hey, did you know that in this date, Toy Story 3 was released and Woody had somebody's name on his shoe or something like that? I'm like,
Why would anyone want that?
I don't know. And then half of them are ads. It's like, try this out in the Alexa developer app. I'm like, I'm not doing this. It's 6 a.m. Leave me alone. Okay, also from Glenn Gabe, we are Glenn heavy this week. That means it's a good week. He said he just ran the visibility numbers for 380 plus sites heavily impacted by the September HCU or helpful content update to see if they were impacted positively by this volatility that's going on. If you don't listen to It's New, there's crazy volatility going on in all of search. The charts are exploding, but none of the sites have bounced back. So we've heard for a while that there will be a new update coming. I think it's probably not weeks or months, but we'll see. And he says, let's see what the next core update brings. So Glenn is with me on that. And then rounding out here, we're going to go with a little more Olympic advertising.
My favorite kind of advertising.
And
Actually, because my daughter really never gets to watch cable, and she knows I make ads at work. My husband makes hats, so it's a lot easier. So she's like, what do you make? Every ad that comes on, she's like, did you make this ad? Have I made
we
this
watch a lot of
before?
YouTube, so a lot of ads we see are ads. And
Oh, really?
Excited, yeah.
I'm like, no, this is Google.
It's like, no, I actually went to the site today. So this comes from one of your favorite people too, Lily Ray over on LinkedIn. And Lily says, in Google's Olympic ad for Gemini, they offer this weird example of Gemini doing something cool, drawing a kerploosh, whatever that is. So I tried it myself. It doesn't work the way it works in the commercial. Seriously? No one tested that.
What is a kerploosh?
So in the commercial, it appears that it makes a water splash. And when Lily goes through to ask for the Kerploosh, it says, unfortunately, it's a text-based AI. I can't directly draw something for you. Lily then says, can you imagine when you hear Kerploosh? And Gemini says, is it like a big splash or something falling into water? She asks it again to draw the Kerploosh. And it says, I cannot draw a Kerploosh for you. You need to search online. Try searching for images using keywords like big splash, water balloon popping, or liquid explosion.
So it can't do anything.
It can't do what it does. Like, I don't know who has neurons that touch over at Google.
Yeah. Their advertising team is just not talking to the rest of the team.
There's like somebody that's like, this is the future of the world. And everybody's like, no. Like, don't need this, don't want, and I can't even get it to work. So we'll see if the Kerploosh ad gets pulled too.
Yeah.
Well, it would make sense that the advertising team isn't talking to anyone else because they like don't see us as humans, so they hate us. Of course they're not talking.
I mean, I think it's two different advertising teams. One is like going out trying to get customers.
These
to use.
people do not know how Gemini works. Whoever's on this ad team.
I mean, clearly. I said to ask for a Kerploosh, and we asked for a Kerploosh. It says I cannot Kerploosh. All right,
Wow.
That's it in organic. What's happening in social, Julia?
LinkedIn is adding verification for company pages. Verification for individual users was added last year, and now it's an option for company pages as well in order for brands to establish trust in the app.
I bet you're verified on LinkedIn.
Absolutely
Are
not.
you being LinkedIner?
Not at all.
No?
I never understood how people get 500 connections.
I don't have 500.
I have like
Really?
maybe 100.
I'll like get in there. So you just wake up and it's like everybody trying to sell you something.
What? Well, yeah, I get a lot of DMs,
Yeah.
but
How many people do you have on LinkedIn?
like maybe 300.
How many people do you have?
like
and I really
maybe
try.
150.
Like I went through one day and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like I host a podcast. Like what am I doing? And I went through and added so many people. And then I realized I just like followed them
Right?
instead
Like,
of connecting with them.
I don't
yeah.
even know how you see your connections.
I
I just
feel
know
like-
I have so many.
I feel
I
like
just-
once you hit 500, it's just like
You have 500 plus. I've looked.
Yeah.
Once you get to 500, it doesn't matter. You
Right.
just skirt through life.
Oh,
I just need to get there.
Same.
I have 1,910 connections.
Wow.
Yeah, I
I'm
have
happy for you.
Thank you.
This seems like it's a slow rollout. I have a client that has been verified since May, so this might not be new to you. But if it is, you can be added to the waitlist for it under your verification settings.
Well, la-di-da, I'm happy for you and your
Yeah.
client.
Yeah.
My client's doing great. Me, on the other hand,
That matters a lot
Not-
better, more than
right,
you.
right.
getting
I'm
there.
happy for that.
She should be happy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she is.
I am.
Okay.
All right. Up next from X, an FTC investigation leads to a lawsuit against TikTok and ByteDance for violating children's privacy law. TikTok failed to comply with the COPPA requirement to notify and obtain parental consent before collecting and using personal information from children under the age of 13. I don't think this is kind of a surprise to anyone, but not great.
Not
but
good, yeah. Not good.
Just
Aren't they
stop
also
doing
supposed
that.
to be gone by now?
Well, no,
TikTok.
they'll never be gone.
Yeah, it's never happened.
It's like going to be like this Google monopoly lawsuit.
Yeah.
On to meta news. Mark Zuckerberg said on a call last week, over the long term, advertisers will basically just be able to tell us a business objective and a budget, and we're going to do the rest for them.
Talk about take of the week.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Mark.
You have better luck having Gemini make a Kerploosh for you.
Literally.
I like the answers. I can't draw.
Yeah, I don't know how to draw.
Guess what? You're just going to hand the money to them and they're going to take as much of it as possible.
Yeah. I also feel like their settings are already kind of set up for this. Everything's just like auto-generated and then you have to like dig around to change it. So yeah, I don't think anyone wants this to happen. So please just leave us alone, Mark. Up next from social media today, Meta retires celebrity-styled AI chatbots.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm just so sick of the celebrity AI. Nobody wants it. I'm so glad that Meta's like finally retired the option of anything AI celebrity.
Right. Also less than a year after launch. But 4 days later, they decided instead of using celebrities' faces, they're just going to give them celebrity voices. So the example used in the article, you can message a bot that looks and sounds like a celebrity but doesn't even have their name.
This is so much dumber.
I will say I hated this until I saw the example of Snoop Dogg.
Right.
This is the hardest
Dungeon
working man
master.
in America right now. He wants to do more, and he just doesn't have time because he's in Paris.
Right.
He needs it.
Right.
Who's done more with the hand that they were dealt?
Snoop
Yeah.
Dogg.
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
I don't think he possibly could do more. He should be a guest.
Also, funny
on the
story.
podcast.
Funny story. I used to have a fake ID, and the name on my fake ID was Calvin Brodus, which
that his real name?
Snoop Dogg's real name.
We actually were just talking about what his real name was recently.
Yeah.
Calvin Brodus.
Yeah.
You could ask me.
Did you pick that or was it given to you?
No, somebody's made it for me.
Yeah.
And I would go all the time like, "Where Calvin Brodus?" Like a couple people laughed, and maybe they knew who it was, but yeah. He went to jail for murder.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait, he did.
What?
Wait. No.
Snoop Dogg?
Oh, he got acquitted. He was charged with first-degree murder.
Literally.
To now being like the Olympic everything and face of Dungeon Master AI. Like,
And the
Pretty
next
crazy.
Olympics are in his hometown. Like, I think they're gearing him up to
Maybe
light the torch.
He'll
Like,
play this time.
Yeah.
You know? That's his next thing is to be an Olympian, an actual one. Up next, Threads gains momentum as it reaches 200 million monthly active users. They're also testing new topic discovery elements to help drive engagement. They're rolling out a new blue label above posts that are related to a trending topic in the app to make it easier for users to tap through and read more about it.
wait, you're Gen Z.
I'm not a Threads user.
No, you're more of Twitter gal?
I'm a neither user.
You're not on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh.
she's not on Twitter. We need to make you a biz Twitter.
All
Yes.
You'll get more followers there than LinkedIn.
Yeah, we'll get you over 500.
Okay.
I'm
On Twitter.
doing okay on Twitter. I just
Okay.
need to post more.
You have such funny takes. Like, you just have to have one of those, just put them out, and everybody's like, yep, I identify with this.
Up next from Drew Cannon in Discord, some good news for Texas. Attorney General Ken Paxton secures a $1.4 billion settlement with Meta over its unauthorized capture of personal biometric data of millions of Texans. This all began in 2011 when Meta rolled out Tag Suggestion, which ran facial recognition software on virtually every face contained in photos that were uploaded to Facebook, and it's the largest settlement ever obtained from an action brought by a single state. So,
I remember when it happened and being like, whoa.
yeah, like creepy, right?
It's also funny that, like, just like one state, like, went hard.
Yeah.
And got $1.4 billion.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, New York, can you just do this too so I don't have to pay as much tax?
Texas just takes everything, you know?
Yeah.
So if you're violating Texans' rights, you should probably stop. Moving on to X News, Linda from X posted a very passionate video talking about a systematic boycott against X, and they have since filed an antitrust lawsuit.
And she's a CEO, right?
Right, yeah. She the video is very intense, the way she's talking. She's kind of giving Meta AI chatbot. It's really,
She should run for office.
she should.
Yeah, she should. Also,
Maybe.
like, I thought you're the free speech platform.
Right.
And now you're like, oh, somebody doesn't like me, so I'm going
Yeah.
to sue you? That seems like the opposite of what you're preaching all day. Strange.
Last from social media today, more X news. They confirmed they're moving out of San Francisco HQ and they might be moving to Texas instead. So, RIP Twitter, out of San Francisco.
And that brings us to our real life segment. Straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
Hardly working for me this week. Google Ads is just really doing fear mongering with this credit card, getting rid of credit card stuff, like making everyone feel like their lives are in jeopardy, like we talked about earlier with those notifications. And then I have clients who are working with Google people to try to update their invoicing options, and they won't reply to their emails. What do you want people to do? Stupid.
Rude.
Julia?
Working hard for me this week is Google Ads Editor. I feel like sometimes I just forget everything you can do in there. And then I go in and I'm like, wow, it makes things so easy.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the account we work on together, it takes like 2 hours
yeah.
to download, so we never get to
Yeah,
use
that's
it.
true.
But I started getting really good at like only downloading the campaigns I'm working on.
wow.
I
Do
feel
you
like
auto
people,
download?
No, that's
Set
the
it-
next flex
You
I
got to
need
set it to auto
Yeah.
download
9
4
a.m.
a.m.
every-
and then you get in.
4 a.m.
But then there's
By
all of
10:30.
us working in there.
Yeah.
You know, like you never know. You really need to be good about like only downloading your campaigns and uploading your campaigns.
Mhm.
That's the move.
Yeah.
All right. And for me, I would just say working hard, PMAX. We've got a couple campaigns that are like basically lead gen, trying to get applications and things like that. We have a further down the funnel conversion that we're shooting towards. It is doing a phenomenal job of driving like the exact cost per acquisition for this specific stage in the life cycle stage. Awesome. I said a lot of bad stuff about PMAX. I'm the first one to say I'm wrong. I'm the first one to be accountable and responsible, like I preach.
If you can set up the right tracking, it can work.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI, people.
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
ICYMI, people. This one is from Leslie Dreschler at PPC Buyers. And if you have not checked out your segment in your Google Ads reports for network placements, she noticed display network showing under demand gen campaign segment. She asks, did I miss a major announcement about demand gen ads being served on display? She noticed this since the week of July 8th and through today. So this would be definitely different from how we were told demand gen campaigns worked. Ginny Marvin, our ads liaison, replied and said this is due to a bug that led the Google Display Network label appearing in error in some demand gen campaign reporting. She said she'll get back to her. Leslie also reached out to a rep who told her that this was due to a demand gen campaign served on the Google Display Network due to an ongoing technical issue. So those are like two different things there between what Jenny said and what that person said. So hopefully we'll get a report back soon. But demand gen campaigns are not supposed to be there, so hate to see it.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
This week's must-read marketing article of the week comes from Search Engine Land and Robin Johnson. Robin has an article called Optimizing for Amazon Branded Search, the best practices to boost visibility. Sometimes it's a niche article that is just done right that people need to see. Is everybody going to need this? No. But are there certain people that could really use this? Yes. And it's a very thorough article by Robin talking about indexing for brand search terms organically on Amazon, how you can rank for them, the role of branded search defense. Just a fantastic article that goes through the entire branded landscape and ecosystem over on Amazon. And if you are an Amazon seller, we want to make sure we pass good information on to you. And this week, it is from Robin. So thank you, Robin. Don't miss it and check it out.
And now on to our playlist of curated songs to work to. You can head over to playlist.marketingoclock.com to listen to Marketing and Playlist. Greg, what will you be adding to the playlist this week?
I'm going to go with Iris by Mike Posner.
Oh,
We just took a bus ride up here. And I learned a lot of new artists, though.
Like Tate McRae,
Yeah, Tate McRae. And what's the other one?
Chapel Roan.
Yeah, a lot of new songs. MGK.
I've got a new artist for you.
Who?
Beyonce. And her song, Why Don't You Love Me, from like 2008. That's my song.
Oh, somebody said on the car ride up, we took a limo to Buffalo to watch a game, that what celebrity would be an alien? And one of our new hires said it was Beyonce, because it is just not human to be that good.
Well, but she's so human. Haven't you seen her HBO documentary, Life is But a Dream?
I sure have not.
It will bring you to tears. Julia, what is your song?
This week I'm adding Dancing on My Own by Callum Scott.
Is it a cover of that other song? Sorry.
What other song? I don't
Who's
know.
Callum Scott?
I literally don't know. Have you guys never heard this song?
Robin? I'm in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a good song.
Oh, I think I know the song you're talking about.
All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already.
And we can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.
Welcome to this week's Shootin' the Heck. We're after our famous Friday news show. We don't talk about marketing anymore. We just
Shoot the heck.
And I've been told we're playing a game today.
Yeah, it's a brand new game. Everybody's favorite game, Shep and Julia.
What is it?
It's called, is this named after a person or people or no?
Okay.
There are many things throughout society that get, their name is derived from somebody else. So I've got some fake ones here and some real ones, and you are all going to keep track of your own scores, see how many of these you get correct, and you answer with a true or false. So was this named after an actual person?
Okay.
Okay. Kleenex, named after Christopher Kleenan and Samuel Wennick.
I'm going to say true. Can I ask a question though?
Yes.
Like, if it is named after someone, are you giving us their real name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're all answering.
Yes.
I feel like that is true because it's too crazy to not be true. If you were making it up, you would have been like Christopher Nex, you know?
Okay.
Or Bobby Kleenex.
Tables.
I'm going to say false. A little bit of gamesmanship. I wanted to lean true, but they both said false.
Well, they came right straight from the crazy part of my brain. I was searching up names that would end in X and start with clean, and it was Kleenex. It was actually just like a marketing term for clean and then like next or something like that. Not named after people. Tables has one. Y'all have none. Okay. Gaston Salmon was the ton named and discovered by Gaston Salmon.
What?
Ton, like the weight of measurement. Was that named after somebody or not?
Gassed. So what are we saying? That he like is a big guy?
No, Gaston Salmon invented or came up with
So
the
you're-
unit of the ton.
He's huge.
Right? Like, he's got to be.
I did not research other.
Why do you
aspects of
have to
that.
throw him under the bus like that?
I feel like it's false.
Yeah, false.
Okay, tables.
True.
Everybody's tied.
Why would you do your first
Oh,
name?
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just tried
right?
throwing a wrench in there.
And like, I
right?
feel like there's so many names.
He was
that end
actually
in
a
that.
human. He was a Belgian Olympic champion fencer in 1878, just for the record. I was trying to find a Gaston that sounded like a real person to throw you guys off. Okay. Frank Zamboni coming up with the ice resurfacer.
That's got to be true.
Yeah, I feel like that's true.
Tables?
I'm also going true.
Okay. Everybody's got 2 points. That is true.
I think I'd like that guy.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Was he Canadian?
Italian.
Oh.
Italian. Or wait. American businessman. American. U.S. Let's go. Add one more to our medal count there. Okay. Next up. Bob Sketchel invented Skechers.
Oh,
I feel
man.
like that's false.
Bob or Robert Sketchel invented Skechers.
I'm going to say true just to be controversial. Try to get some points.
Tables.
I'm going to say false.
Shop and Tables take the lead. They're up by 1. I just made that up. For the popular exercise, Joe Pilates invented Pilates.
It wouldn't be Joe. A woman definitely invented Pilates. Is it Joanne?
No, yeah.
J-O-E? No
Joseph,
way.
Joe.
No.
No way.
I'm going false.
Yeah, false.
You know, I'm going to go true on that one.
Tables takes the lead. It's my favorite thing. It's the only reason I made this game. Joe Pilates invented Pilates.
That's so
Joe Pilates. That's the whole reason I made this game.
Joe Mama.
yeah, literally.
Oh, what are you doing, Pilates? Oh, yeah, I know Joe. All right, next up.
Look at you. Got to look him up.
Yeah, it's Joe Pilates. I'm not making it up. Okay, next up. And no cheating, Shep.
By the way, he's ripped.
Tables has a
Look at these
1 point
legs.
lead over Shep, and Julia's down by 2.
Yeah.
Okay, next up. Hear me out on this one. All right.
Yeah.
Adolf Sax. Did Adolf Sax invent the saxophone?
Oh, I was thinking Saks department stores. No.
I want to say yes.
I'm going to say no.
Julia crawling back. He actually invented the saxophone. Adolf Sax. Oh my God, just put a picture of Joe Pilates in here. Tables, put this picture of Joe Pilates up in here. Okay. He is, wow. Spread eagle Pilates over here. We'll do another one. Okay. Joseph Gene, Gene. Joseph Gene. Jogging was named after Joseph Gene, yes or no?
Where does that even come from?
Yeah,
So that makes me
I'm saying no. Named
that makes me think
after-
you made it up.
You can think what you want.
I'm,
You only have a 1 or Tables, you're in the lead.
okay,
you're
I'm
tied
going
with
to say
Julia.
yes, just
Okay, I'm saying
to try to
no.
beat Julia.
Tables.
I'm going to say yes.
Julia ties it up. It just made up. Joe
That
Gene?
was
They
so
just made
fake.
jogging.
Yeah. Also,
So,
like you named jogging after someone.
so Tables and Julia for the win here. All right.
Oh no.
All right. The next one, Ignacio Anya invented nachos. Ignacio Anya.
Well, I'm not answering, right?
You're not answering.
I'm going to say no.
I will say true.
True. The dish was named and created after a Mexican restaurateur, Ignacio Anya, who created it in 1943 for American customers.
This says his nickname was Nacho, though.
See, that
You
context
should
would have
have
been
given
nice.
that context.
It says Ignacio.
Nacho Anaya.
Okay, it was named after him. And Tables, you get the dub.
Well, I'm really sorry you had to go down that way, Julia.
It was actually worth it for that picture of Joe Perez.
I agree. Make sure you're
Look
watching
'em up.
YouTube. And we'll see you next week.
Officially marketing o'clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.